your ad message. Okay. Now, if I did that one day at a time and I gave you 1,000 people because you got one new friend, you got a good chance of getting one new customer off of their 1,000 friends. Okay.
Sure.
Now, what happened?
Today, that's the direct mail deal, man. 2%, man.
Well, that was direct mail.
Not even 2%. That's 1 out of 1,000.
It still exists, though. The numbers they're prevalent, but the difference is what you said earlier. Your email gets bogged down. One thing about your timeline on both Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, it changes. You don't get bogged down on your timeline. The last person in is the last message received on the timeline.
Right.
Okay. So
then they've been harvesting some of that because there's so much stuff that's been, especially politics and everything else. But there's so much stuff going on that they're narrowing people's bandwidth on because eventually, when you start out, everybody's got 5 or 10 or a couple hundred friends. Now, like you said, there's too many people who don't really know these folks, and they've got a couple thousand friends. And eventually, if you do that, everybody knows everybody else, and nobody knows anybody.
I hate to say this, but that's not my problem. I love it. We love it. We love the fact because the thing is, everybody always says that it has an idea and invention. They say, man, if I could just get this out to the world, everybody will love it. We have real, live, tangible evidence of people who have a message, a business, sometimes a cause that is so hot that everybody responds. And it doesn't matter if those people grew up with them or from the same city or any of that. My Facebook friends are from all over the country and some outside of the country. Okay. I don't want to get a call from the White House.
All over the country and all over the world.
Yeah. You give, okay. And it doesn't matter. We're shocked by business I had somebody that had friends from overseas. It's a travel company, called me to tell me, can you believe I booked trips in Australia? And they kind of like, now understand this, the only marketing they were doing was Facebook marketing. Okay.
Sure.
And when their profile was set up, I don't believe in setting up a profile without friends. There are too many people who have a profile that has 11 friends. We got to fix that.
Well, but I mean, I can reference that back when early keywords and things were picked up off a website. Mm-hmm. I mean, we did that way back where we said we do expatriate returns, and all of a sudden, that next day I had a dozen guys on a rig in Afghanistan go, dude, man, we need somebody to do our returns, but very few people. Well, most walking places in the States have screwed them up. And
was it military and expatriate? Is that what you said? Military and expatriate? Is that what the way you worded it then? What was it?
Yeah, it's a military and expatriate.
Right.
If you work abroad, overseas workers.
Yes.
And something that they went through and it ended up on our, because like I said, I've always been an organic guy. I'm not been a pay-per-click or pay for a lot of stuff other than organic because we're usually at the front end of things. But there are things that different programs that people offer that they throw in some of that stuff to try to sweeten the pot.
I have a friend that does resumes. Supposed to call in today and heard from him. He said that I think there was a certain kind of resume. I'm not going to mention it because I'm not going to give him the plug today. We'll talk about it next week. Okay. But there was a specific type of resume that he does that I didn't see anybody else market. And it's something that is a game changer. It's a game changer. And that's what it reminded me of when you said that.
Sure.
And it's that simple. Now,
it's
get
niche
this.
Marketing, man.
It's
if you can
niche.
Find the stuff that nobody else does.
Right.
Niche is huge.
It's still SEO. Okay. It's just, and there's, and I'll throw another word at you before we end the show. How much time we got, Chris?
Oh, we got a little bit of time.
Okay, good.
You're all right.
There's a couple of words that come to mind. You got my synergy kicked up. Search engine optimization, SEO, is still relevant when you're talking about social media, just as much as anything else, because people still do searches on Facebook, Instagram, and my favorite, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Right. And people don't realize the audience that YouTube has is phenomenal. Every customer I have is on YouTube. They're all going to be on YouTube. If they haven't done any video, they have to.
Just look at the news, man.
Everybody is.
I mean, YouTube's been in the news this week from the crazy lady because they pulled their ads from her
yeah, don't go too deep in there. I gotta
something
keep smiling.
crazy.
Don't go there. Some people sad about that right now. I won't talk about YouTube on that level. I only want to talk about the fact that everybody look at it. You feel me? Everybody.
Right.
So the kids are looking at it. You know, the kids. We were at lunch, and all the little kids were on their little 7s or whatever. One of them's on an iPad mini, and she's looking at YouTube. And she knows how to navigate you. She can't even talk yet, and she knows how to use YouTube. Okay?
Sure.
If you don't believe in social media, if you're talking about direct mail, if you're talking about things like hard copy things you hold, even my authors, I do a lot of different authors that write books, write novels, paperback, hard copy, the whole nine. Guess what? Kindle, digital. There are people who prefer the digital version of a book. There are people who prefer the audio version of a book, but it's no longer hard copy. Is the point? Okay, it's digital media. I am a digital media evangelist. I believe, and it's not what I think. It's what I can see. It's what I know. It's what we can prove. We can prove that this is how you can be found. If you ask you could ask a child, "Where's the best place to put something?" You know what a kid would say? Put it where people look.
No, I mean, culturally, that you're exactly right. That's when we redid our website about 5 or 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We took a lot of content down because what people want is they want what they want.
It used to be like a book.
They can think about it, and
Remember
if they
that?
have to wade through anything, they go on to the next thing.
You remember it used to be like a book?
Right on the front.
Do you remember
Here's
that?
a big button.
You remember your website
C or D.
before WordPress? Remember your website used to be like a book.
Right.
It was tons of information. It was either go to your site or the IRS site. They were pretty similar. They both had a bunch of content, right?
No, ours was never that bad.
I'm sorry.
And the IRS site is better than it used to be.
It's a lot better. It's not. That's not my point. It's about relevance.
I know such a point.
Yeah, it's about relevance. It's about answering questions. If you
people don't care about any other stuff except what they care about that second. And that's where even with my sales funnel, I'm breaking out different services to different websites. Because, when they go to a website and everybody tries to cram one thing on there, they go, well, they do this, that, and the other, and my stuff's on there, but I know this is a big issue. Is it a big enough issue with them? I don't want to worry about it. I want them to go, IRS Audit Dallas, and it pops up and go, here's a guy who's been doing it forever, worked for the IRS for 30 plus years, been representing people for 15 years. If there's no reason to hire anybody else, give us a call.
You know the best source of free traffic?
Set it up.
You know the best source of free traffic for your website? Social media. People, exactly. I was able to replace, I had someone that was doing pay-per-click, made a challenge to me. What can you do to give me some real good traffic based on what I've been doing? I looked at their pay-per-click campaign. I said, give me your pay-per-click campaign. Just invest it. Give me what you're doing on just Google. They were doing Google. Now they do, instead of just doing Google AdWords, I took that budget and I bought Bing. I put them on Bing. I put them on Yahoo. I put them on, they were still on Google AdWords, but well,
you spread it around.
I spread it around.
Everybody doesn't just use Google. There's still people who use Yahoo. I think there's probably somebody who still uses Netcrawler out there.
They can. You can use it. It doesn't matter.
Have an AOL address on their damn business card.
I'm not knocking that they do that. There are people who still walk. There are people who still ride bikes, especially here. People do a lot of things. That's not the point. The point is doing it better. How do you do something? How do you take the same amount of money and get more out of it? Return on investment is based off of your investment. What you spend, getting more back than you invested. How much more? How many more times can I get this money back? So I would take, and this is what I did with every company. I would take the budget they already had. That's why I prefer people who are already advertising, because I have to, as an evangelist, I have to save the ones who don't believe in it. I've got to enlighten them and get them to believe in the media. And I really prefer people. I don't mind, because I came to help those people. I don't mind coming to save those people. They're just a lot harder sometimes. But the people who know,
it's like going deep sea fishing, man. If you only put one line in the water, you only got one shot.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Lines on each side of the boat.
That's a good way of looking at it.
You know.
The problem is a lot of people can't afford deep sea fishing. So I gotta those who, if they can afford deep sea fishing, I want them to be my customer. But for those who are only spending a little money on
deep sea fishing was that expensive. I guess I haven't been in.
Come on, man.
12. So
okay. I live in LA. You got to see people there. Everybody can't deep sea fish out here. I met people in LA that ain't been to the beach. Okay, got a business, have not been to the beach.
There's a lot of people that have been to the beach.
But the beach is the beach is west.
The beach in 10 years.
But the beach is west. You can get there in 15 minutes. Okay. But the point of all of those different.
I walk out the door and it's a big beach all the way.
Okay, you go to the beach. I'm gonna finish the statement. The point of them taking that same amount of money, buying different forms of media. Understand, it's media. We're not locked into one thing. We're taking different areas of media. We're investing enough in each one of them to find out which is the one that fits their niche. Okay? Analytics are now, after that, your programmatic advertising is telling you which channel you should be spending the most money in. We look at stuff like I heard somebody say this, and Chris looked at me, rolled his eyes when they said it. Likes don't matter. You're looking like, really? So you're telling me you got two different people. You want somebody to handle your taxes, your business taxes. One customer has 12 likes and the other one has 3,000. You telling me you're going to pick the one with 12? You're going to trust them with your financial help.
The 12 will pick that one.
That's the only one. Come on. I mean,
because those are the only real ones, is those 12. So only those 12 will ever select that one.
That's it.
So new ones will never see it.
That's right. Because they don't even come up, because there's at least, remember I was talking about 3-pack. This was another conversation about the 3-pack on Google Maps. It's not quite a 3-pack on Facebook when you do a search, but what you'll notice is when you do a search on Facebook, they give you different search results. And they only show you like 3 of each. And you have to hit more to see the rest. Okay. You're not going to show up on those 3 unless you're relevant. You got to know the criteria of how Facebook ranks those 3 people that show up first. One of them just so happens to be engagement. Okay. So you have no engagement. You have no likes. You have no followers. You have no reviews. You have no pictures. You have no videos. But you want to show up. And then you're wondering why. Okay, all of these factors are going to affect the overall effectiveness of your campaigns on each channel.
Sure.
And if you don't know the rules of thumb, I think what was it you said a little while ago? The terms of service, terms of
use. Yeah.
If you don't know the terms of use and you're just posting, good luck. Good luck. I'm sorry. So that's what we're here to do. Steve, I really value your opinion. That's why I wanted you on, because 20 plus years in the same industry, finding success year after year, being able to grow, that's not easy. Everybody can't say they did that. That's like LeBron has gotten better every year somehow. I don't understand that either. He's gotten better. He's in year 15 and he's playing better than he did when he was, 10 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, where's the rings, man?
Yeah, we ain't gonna go there. We know Jordan rules. Everybody our age knows who the real best player ever was. Okay, so I'm arguing about this later.
Out there. Yeah,
that's gonna be another show later tonight. I know it.
He's the best out there, man.
I know it. But even if we do mention sports, you got to admit something. Social media again. One of the most popular shows on is Skip and Shannon, Undisputed. Okay, that show it's an internet show. It's not just ESPN. It's not just on TV. More people watch look at go.
Why do you think that the format has blown up like it has?
That's what people want to see.
Format.
That's what people want to see.
I mean, you got stations that have no games on, but they sit and talk about sports all day.
We're gonna.
The social media business builder, or the social media strategist, is here to help businesses, small businesses, get local inclusion and searches across all different platforms. We start off with a Google account. We utilize every app and service that Google offers. We get you optimized locally on Google, We get you optimized locally on Yahoo search. We get you optimized locally on Bing search. And if you have a local business, you'll appear also on Yelp. Now, I know you've heard of Yelp before. Okay. And let's talk about a Facebook strategy. I know you have a Facebook page, but do you have a Facebook business page? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have a Twitter business page? Do you have an Instagram business profile? The Social Media Business Builder is a custom solution that uses the platforms that make the most sense for your business. Let's have a conversation.